A story about pronoun guidance. You've always got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, this is something I actually know about.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
do it.
OK, involve parents before pupils socially transition at school, says NHS England. So this is an official part of our government or country coming out and finally giving some guidance because the Department of Education, which has been saying that they're meant to have done it earlier this year, that we're going to finally tell schools what the guidance is, still haven't come out.
No, they're really dragging their heels.
They're really dragging their heels.
Schools are desperate for it. They want to know what they're meant to do.
But now we have NHS England, which in a lot of ways we cover a lot of stories where you think they're a captured organisation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But actually this is a very positive development because they're saying that, of course, you need to involve parents. But what they're saying is so obvious, like involve parents. So it's like saying to schools, you know, involve the parents before you give them a tattoo.
Right.
Whatever.
I mean, the trouble we've got here, though, is, well, firstly, the CAS report, the interim CAS report, which said that social transitioning is not a neutral act. There are ramifications. Yeah. Schools are all behaving differently on this, and they're sort of just following their own instincts. I know a teacher who was told that on the school reports home he was to use the child's birth name, but when he talks to the pupil in class, he's to use the new name, and in other words, lie to the parents. Yeah, yeah. So, Nick, the problem with this is the government just isn't... What they need to give is statutory guide, not just advice. They need to say, this is how schools must behave, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's not fair to leave it ambiguous and let the teacher decide on a case-by-case. Yeah, not workable. No, they've taken far too long as well to come out with this guidance. Yeah, because I don't think teachers should have to humour any of this. I mean, tell the parents is obvious. That's, as Josh says, I mean, that's day one. That's absolutely obvious. But I don't think they should have to go along with it full stop.
But also, a number of people saying that social transitioning can put the child at risk of actually going down a pathway towards further medicalisation.
Yeah. So why are adults encouraging it in a classroom setting? It's not right, is it?
It's a real problem. Why do you think, Josh, that the government are dragging their heels? Is it just they're so scared of this topic?
Absolutely. And supposedly there are some MPs and everybody wants to be on the right side of history rather than just being on arguably the moral right. You see things in, like people in America, you see children removed from their parents in America over this issue for not going along with social transitioning and whatever. You know, we don't... I mean, this argument's been made 1,000 times. Tattoos, earrings, getting married. Yeah. Parents have input, rightly so. So medicalisation, of which is what social transitioning can lead to, medicalisation for life of their child, chopping off healthy body parts. Yes. It's crazy that schools would in any way... And there are these external... organisations out there that go in, because the schools don't know what to do. They bring in, pay for these external...
Yeah, people like gendered intelligence.
Yeah, whatever. And they come in and they tell illegal things like, don't tell parents this stuff.
Yeah, this is the other problem, is that groups like Stonewall, which represent the law as they would like it to be, not how it actually is, when you don't have guidance from the government that's clear, it opens the doorway to that kind of exploitation.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing I'd add, and Josh alludes to it there, is that in America it's even more crazy. So the one thing we can say is that even as slow as the government's been, we're still ahead of other countries. As shocking as that is, I know it's cold comfort, but we are ahead of a lot of other countries.
But I don't know how useful this NHS guidance... I mean, it's useful, but it's not what we need.
They have something to point to, at least.
Yeah, it's something. It's a start. But the government needs to just get on with it, frankly.